Hello and welcome. Today I'm presenting you with something a little different, aside from the usual 78 RPM recordings that I feature. This is a series of record disc blanks, but there is actually, in fact, something recorded on them. These were recorded on the phonograph radio combos of the World War II era, where you had a microphone, of course, a phonograph, and a radio, and you can find recordings of radio programs, maybe even the operators who recorded them. And some are more interesting than others. Sometimes people just copy their records on them. But this original box included the 7-inch disc that was included with the 10-inch disc, and it was used for test recordings. So you'd set your depth, set your angle, set your volume and all that, get the machine fine-tuned, and then when you had it, you switch over to a 10-inch disc and make your recording. Now, as you can guess, in fact, these are actually not too uncommon. You can see these every so often, and sometimes they're labeled, and which is great because you know what year and what's recorded on them and when. And so, as you can guess, I'm interested in the 10-inch disc, but right now I'm more interested in the 7-inch disc that has the scraps on it. So some of these recordings, the tracks, there's multiple tracks on here. Some start from the outside in like a regular record, but a lot start from the inside out like the radio transcription records of the same era. So I'm gonna have to remember which is which here. So if it skips, if the needle skips, I'm gonna mute that section and keep the good parts so that you hear the audio as it should be heard. But keep in mind these are test recordings, so the quality is not going to be very good as it is, but I still think it's going to be nonetheless very interesting. So stay with me. We'll start with this one right here.
We wake at night and cry. My sister and I recall the day.
I wonder if this is recording, whether we're picking up the background music now. The music is about 10 feet from the microphone. I'm speaking about 6 feet from the microphone.
Now, besides the fact that it's written on here, in addition to the handwritten miscellaneous text, or tests, the recording that you heard in the background behind the operator who cut this record was a recording of Jimmy Dorsey's My Sister and I, vocal by Bob Eberly, recorded in 1941, just before the United States entered the Second World War. So there's a few more recordings here, and quite a variety here. I think you'll find them quite interesting, and there's little snippets of radio programs and stuff like that. And if you recognize any of them, let me know. And I'd love to hear if any of these sound familiar to you. Don't hesitate to let me know.
Despises Manfredo. She has married him only for reasons of state. And while her husband is away, crushing an insurrection on the Italian hills, Fiora gives herself to Avviso, a Tuscan prince whom she has always loved. Archibaldo, the old king, overhears her.
I love those old radio programs. I've been listening to them in addition to the 78s for quite a few years, like 5-6 years, and since I was 15. So I love tracing and finding the stories behind each of these recordings, and I've still got a lot to learn and a lot to familiarize myself with. So definitely help me out if any of these sound familiar to you, like this one, for instance.
An act that might almost be called symphonic. It happens when Manfredo goes off to the wars, first making his wife promise that she will stand on the highest battlement of the castle, waving a white scarf until Manfredo disappears in the distance. The music in this episode brings home to us the whole conflict in the soul of Fiora. Two themes rule the orchestra. The first I call despair, because Fiora has resolved never to see her lover again. And the second motive belongs to Manfredo. was mean, too. He told his cronies at the Red Lion he was going out to scare those little toffs till they run screaming home to their cradles. He went toward the bridge at dusk while the hangers-on watched over the holly hedge along the railroad tracks. The boys saw him coming and marched back and forth. He stopped and looked at them with a leering scowl. Get off. Envy those 9 million of them that have had the chance that this scout business gives them. I wanted to stay longer, but I saw the guard approaching with a finality that told me my Christmas visit was over. We grinned, nodded through the glass. I went away, and he went back to his cell. He's learning the hard way, the long, hard way.
Salute, dinero y amor. We introduce once again our charming ambassador of good music, Graciela Parraga. Miss Parraga opens her program with Blue Echoes, a Mexican romantic ballad.
That paradise we used to share just as a sign, pero tuve el temor de no hacerte feliz y te dejé traicionando mi amor, traicionándote a ti. Por eso escribo esta carta y en ella te diré todo lo que yo no te pude decir. Yo no merezco tu perdón.
And now I have a 10-inch disc, so it has the recorder's name on it, the date, and the program that was recorded. Well, thank you for listening. And again, please let me know if any of this stuff rang a bell. Hope to see you next time.
8 p.m. by Ben Russ, B-E-N-R-U-S. Ben Russ, official watch of famous airlines, WJZ, New York.
Radio's greatest new hour of entertainment, the Tom's Pot of Gold with Horace Height, followed immediately over most of these same stations by Fame and Fortune with Tommy Dorsey. Horace Height and his Pot of Gold stars. Presenting the radio sensation of the nation, the Pot of Gold, sponsored by Tom's famous quick relief for acid indigestion.
Here we come, colorful, bright and gay. It's the charge of the Height Brigade.
Thank you, and hello, nice people. This is Horace Height inviting you all to make yourselves right at home. For this evening, in the spirit of radio friendship, your Pot of Gold stars have gathered here beside the microphones of the NBC studios in Chicago for a half hour of hospitality, happiness, and opportunity. And the opportunity may mean $1,000 to somebody somewhere before this program is over. For there's $1,000 in our Tom's Pot of Gold, and we wish to give it away as an outright gift, so that $1,000 may be yours. But just to make sure that we do send you something you like, we've arranged a Pot of Gold musical program designed to fit every taste in modern music. First, we take a few notes from our collection of the classics, set them to triple-tonguing tempo, and present our version of Rachmaninoff's Prelude in G minor.
Thank you.